Welcome back to the nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be checking out Goose Pimples, top 5 scary videos that will make you question what is real. Let's dive right into this.
Number 5. Haunted Hotel Room. The next time you book a hotel room, make sure you keep a close eye on the ceiling, because there might be something lurking around. Facebook user River Vaughan didn't pay much attention to it until it became too strong for him to ignore. Take a look.
I'm fucking wrong with this hotel room. What the fuck?
What?
Holy shit.
It's like it's breathing.
Oh my god.
Bro, if he sees something in there.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. We need a new hotel room. Yeah,
Dude, that ceiling is like breathing.
It's the freaking hotel breathing from the ceiling.
Yeah, see?
Some commenters suggest the possibility of a tiny earthquake that happened in Dallas earlier that day. But when the hotel staff were alerted, they said they had no idea or even felt anything. Apparently, it's, quote, nothing to worry about. But come on, if it was an earthquake, why isn't everything else around this dude shaking as well? And why the hell does it look like the ceiling is having an asthma attack? The movement is coming in waves with pauses longer than 1 second each. Pretty sure an earthquake would be trembling faster than that. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments, and while you're at it, don't...
The only thing I can think of is, which I guess technically still doesn't even make any sense, is the ductwork that goes through there. Maybe there's a hole in it or something like that, so when air is turning on and off, it's escaping, or just, but then that would be on and off constantly, you know what I mean? Other than that, I can't think of anything.
Don't forget to bump the like button and subscribe. Actually, don't subscribe just yet. We will earn your subscription by the end of this compilation. Number 4. Midnight Horror. A security guard at a hospital in Thailand was left speechless after checking the CCTV camera. He didn't believe in paranormal entities until he witnessed this jaw-dropping scary video. Let's watch.
What's it? Is that an empty wheelchair? Well, I mean, you can see it's downhill, but... Does it keep going? Oh. Yeah, that's weird. If it was just going to go...
Believe it
one
or
direction,
not, the hospital staff still insists that the wheelchair is manual, and there was no wind that could possibly move it in the way it did. There was certainly no one around during the witching hour, you can clearly see in the footage. So, does this mean the wheelchair
what does it hit though?
Was moving
because it stops
itself?
Right here on its own.
While skeptics will probably associate this jump cut with a brake that would allow someone to change the direction of a string, the incident sparked concern among those who knew the backstory of this particular wheelchair. Apparently, it belonged to the hospital's former director, who used it day and night right until the time he died. Just a few days before, his family donated the wheelchair to the hospital, and that was also a few days before this bizarre incident happened. Everyone at the facility got so scared that they won't go anywhere near that creepy-ass wheelchair. What do you think?
I don't blame him. Heck no.
Or a real attachment? Let us know in the comments.
Right there, what does it hit?
Number 3.
You guys saw that, right?
Haunted Museum. The YouTube channel Purgatory Adventures sent us some pretty genuine looking evidence of poltergeist activity captured when they investigated Almeida's most haunted building. Have you heard the frightening stories associated with the famous Almeida and District Heritage Museum? According to historical accounts, the museum was previously a residential property built in 1908. Strangely enough, Mr. Tice built the house after his own house burnt down during Almeida's Great Fire in 1907.
That almost looks like the Amityville house.
Many families occupied this house until the 1930s, when it was converted into a hospital. No one knows what went wrong with the building throughout the years, but nearby residents started noticing unusual activities at night. Lights come on and off without anyone around the light switches. Visitors have reported seeing a figure dressed in blue out of the corner of their eyes, among other weird,
what the hell?
unexplainable events. Let's hear what Shirley
that
Best,
thing was
a local
creepy.
resident, has to say about what's going on inside the medical room, which is considered the paranormal hotspot of this building.
So as recently as this morning, I was here in the museum with one of the local board members, and we were viewing in here in the medical room, and as we stepped out into the hallway and went to the bedroom, she could hear footsteps following us. And
That was like the
it
longest
brought her up
pause.
with
She
a
just kind of goes,
start and said, "I think we have company."
32 years ago, this building was
Oh,
transformed
yeah.
into a museum,
That was
and the
weird.
local authorities, as well as the people who live in the area, have donated all the objects on display. Some are just old relics, but some are believed to be haunted. Haunted objects, as well as the creepy history behind this building, are probably the reason for what Shirlene experienced. She's not alone when it comes to experiencing paranormal activity in the building though. Paul, who lived in this place before it was transformed into a museum, is almost 100% sure that the place is alive.
Okay, I purchased the place from Mona, and I asked her about ghosts, and she said no, there weren't any that she knew of. But anyway, I was sitting in the kitchen, we were eating by myself, and I can see this go by from here, eh? And
Kind of eccentric, yes. Did he just look on this dude's face? But he just did. If I'm not mistaken, he just said we were in the kitchen eating by myself. What? I just want to make sure that's what he said. Yeah, right there. See, we were eating by myself.
and I can see this go by from here, eh? And it looked
Hey.
like an old man.
Looked like an old man.
And then my wife, ex-wife, came over and she was sitting there and playing cards with me or something, and she noticed it also, but it was a woman. So and it just went to here, and we never pursued
So
it. Eh?
How long did you live in the house for then?
Only about 2 years.
About 2
myself,
years?
yeah.
Okay.
And then one evening, I was out, and I came home. It was about midnight or so, and my son was sleeping on an old couch right
Yeah.
there. And this wasn't here, so I just leaned against the doorway, and I was looking at him, and right there in the middle of that bay window
Yeah.
came ball of light. Eh? Just
Shot at you?
no, it's sat right here over the little boy.
Really?
Eh? And it
Hey.
just sat there about this big, and it just bobbed up and down a little bit. And I think I said, "You should go to heaven." And it turned and just
What?
well, it just moved and went right back to here
And then it just
and vanished. Eh?
really.
But it went really fast,
Yeah.
and it looked like it traveled for a mile,
Wow.
but it was only inside the room.
That's crazy.
Who is this kid? But also, you can tell he's sitting there going, "This dude is nuts." He's just, what? Why would you sit there and if you're watching your son, you saw just like a orb of light like float into the room? Why would you just go, "I think you should go to heaven"? What? What the hell would that be the first thing that comes to your mind besides shitting your pants? And he's like, "Yeah, this guy's weird."
It was
Sorry, but
something different.
Wow.
And then my little son was upstairs, spent the night with me. And
Look at it,
down
he's
here
smirking.
at
That
2 o'clock
kid
in the
wants to
morning
laugh.
in the dark. I heard him going up the stairs, bang, bang, bang. And I said, "Where were you?" He says, "Playing with the girl." I guess there's a little girl here,
Little girl here?
and she used to sit right over there and watch me watching television.
Really?
You'd see the little hat and
Wow. That's crazy.
everything like that. And my other son was sleeping in the bedroom right there, across from the top of the stairs. And he said he wake up and there's the little girl standing there looking at him.
Really?
And he was about 12. Eh?
So then how haunted is this place then? On a scale of
There's 3 for sure.
3 for sure?
And 1 with whatever that is, that entity, that ball of light. Eh?
Yeah.
And but the very first night I stayed here, I slept on the floor and we heard,
Footsteps.
but not really. It sounded like somebody rolling a big block of wood up the stairs.
Really?
Right? Like old boy was bringing a motor in the house or something like that, because that's what he used to do here. But he was dead also.
Yeah.
And what else? My sofa was here.
Yep.
And I was sitting on this end, like this. Jim, doctor's son from Oxbow, was sitting over here. And this big black, like a cloud, came out of the ceiling and sat right over top of my head. And his face went pure white. And then he just
I'm sorry, like
went
what?
back into the ceiling also.
So in your experience, what time do they come out at?
Well, it's usually supper time, all evening with the little girl.
Oh yeah.
The ball of light was midnight or so, but this traversing back and forth between the man and the woman is pretty well all day.
All day.
And it's usually in March, February, March is the busiest time.
It's the busiest time, really.
Yeah.
Like, oh great, we're here in
There's one
June.
hospital.
Yeah.
The old Dr. Woods had it.
Yeah.
And I guess a diphtheria thing killed a bunch of people. And they died here, several of them, I guess. And I had other friends. I rented a place out when I wasn't here, but she came out of the kitchen with a cigarette and the ghost went.
Are you gonna investigate, or are we just gonna listen to this dude rant?
And never came back. That Mrs. Hey. Minnie's sister, Minnie Cecil's sister.
Well.
And Roberta, she was working here and shut the lights off, and here the lights are back on.
Upon hearing all this, the team of paranormal investigators decided to debunk the mysteries behind this creepy place, and they came
thank God.
well prepared for the task. The team starts with a spirit
I was
box
saying, it was like
session,
20 minutes of that dude just
but other than
talking
some
about
orbs
balls of light
flying
in his
around,
couch.
they don't capture anything interesting enough downstairs, so they decide to go upstairs. But as soon as they enter the allegedly most haunted room of the house, their attention is diverted straight away. Let's watch.
Stay there, I want to go check on that thing.
If you walk in front of the camera, we'll be able to see you. Are you gonna head downstairs?
What?
What was that? Is that you?
Something banged on the bottom of my
I heard that.
floor.
What was that?
I was like right here, something
I heard
banged
that.
on the
That
bottom
shook
of my
the
floor.
That shook the floor. I thought that was you.
No?
Oh my god. That was me, sorry.
I
Almost
was
like the dude
right
said, that
here.
big rolling log
was right
thunder
here.
type thing.
Loud.
I felt it on the bottom of my foot.
Oh my god. Wait.
The first bang clearly stunned the both of them, but then there's another sound heard which just shows that these guys are honest paranormal investigators, as one of them quickly said, quote, "That was me, sorry," as he steps on a floorboard. But they still can't explain the first bang, which sounded like it was coming from downstairs, so they decide to head back to the main entrance. That's when they find what could be the reason behind the strange bang.
Oh,
Take
there
a
we go.
look.
Come back downstairs. Come back downstairs. What was that? I felt that.
It hit, as soon as you mentioned
Hit
it
the
go down.
bottom. That door's open.
What?
The door's open. We closed that, remember?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this door's open. Who's in here? Oh my god. I wonder if the wind. Wait, let's try and debunk this door open. Is there a wind?
That door, that camera would have caught it.
There's no wind out here.
Yeah.
Just film. Look at. There's no wind. Look at the trees. Like, if there was a wind. Oh my god, what was that? Just wait.
You should go look in the footage.
They quickly start trying to debunk what could have caused the door to open. They go outside to check the weather and make sure the wind wasn't the culprit behind the unusual activity. but there's no wind and they're all alone in the building. So why the hell was the door open when they clearly left it closed? That's when they decided to check the static camera. Let's see what it captured.
Yeah, like a little shadow thing right here too. See it? Almost like covers the door
If you
handle.
look closely,
See?
you can even see the doorknob moving at the same time as we hear a
Yeah,
click.
it's almost like a shadow covers
This
it too.
happened when they were clearly both upstairs trying to figure out where did the first bang come from. Excited by the events so far, the team continues investigating. This time, they caught some audio evidence.
Can you move the mannequin?
They caught an EVP on their camera's
I heard
mic.
yes, I
But
didn't
they
hear
couldn't
yes, I
hear it
can. That's just-
themselves, so they decided to try another trick to get the entity to give them a sign. They started calling the names of all the people who have died in that building, and that's when they captured what they believed to be the best
Wow, that was
piece
a
of
serious
evidence
mustache.
they have ever captured. Let's watch.
Emily, are you here with us? Ugh. Can you come and talk to us, please? Shut the door.
Whoa, Ethan!
What?
Look down at the camera! It's sitting in the chair. Come here, bring me that camera.
Oh shit, I can't get to you.
Give me the camera.
What?
Look it.
Look at what?
It's sitting in the chair. It's like
Oh, the
freaking out where
SLS
the
caught
spirit
something.
box
Yeah,
is.
down that corner. Damn, what's it doing with his feet?
Yeah, go
Thing's
sit
on
beside
crack.
It, sit beside it.
It's like, you guys want me to
Yeah,
appear?
it's the
I'm
way
here.
the
What you
spirit
want?
Box is.
That's where it sits.
Yeah. Okay, it's mapping you in now.
I'm not here.
He said, "Don't
sitting there.
sit on it." Like, oh, you
Now
killed
it's
it.
gone.
That's
Good
a
job.
cold spot.
Yeah, it was sitting in the chair.
Holy, come look at my ear.
What? Oh,
Holy.
what?
Feel the energy, man. Look.
Oh God, it's cold. The air.
So, what do you think of the
squished it.
evidence they captured that night? Is it real proof that ghosts are still lurking around the famous Alameda and District Heritage Museum? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Purgatory Adventures to follow their journey while capturing evidence from the most haunted places in Canada. Number 2. Ghostly Whispers. According to the uploader, this footage left their skeptic friends baffled. Let's see if it leaves you too. Make sure you listen very carefully.
Does anybody actually get popcorn when they're watching TV movies? Not at the theater. Huh?
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
I don't think the kid was talking to anybody. I think it's just doing its
Who are you talking to, Avery?
child doing its nonsense.
Did you catch it? Let's
What?
do a little digging. 22 months old Avery seems to be playing around like any other kid of his age. But could something mysterious be going on right under his parents' noses? Right after Avery's mother asks who he is talking to, there is a croaky voice that almost sounds like
Ooh.
the freaking Grudge right here. Something or someone
That was the kid.
was whispering the name Ryan, but the parents are pretty sure their baby doesn't know any Ryan. So why did Avery reply something that sounded like Ryan? Commenters have said they
I'm sorry, did you guys catch any of that? To me, it just looks like a kid being a kid that is just verbalizing its gibberish. You know how kids do. And then it didn't look like it said Ryan or anything. When it turned around, the mother said, "Who are you talking to?" And it went right, and it sounded like it said right here. It put its hands like this, and it said right here. Like that voice and everything did it exactly as the kid was motioning. That wasn't a disembodied voice. That was the kid. We're gonna go back right quick. Sorry, I don't want to keep rewinding it, but yeah, this is just a kid. Hang on, right here. Sorry, it's a weird pose. When the kid turns around, listen, that's the kid doing it. See? He just says right here. He does the Degeneration X nonsense right there. But yeah, that was just a kid. This whole thing is the kid. He looks up randomly, but like when the mother said, "Who are you talking to?" and he turns around, he goes and grabs whatever that is off the counter, and he comes back. The mom starts talking gibberish. He doesn't point nothing or this is just a kid.
Something or someone was whispering the name Ryan.
No, it wasn't.
But the parents are pretty sure their baby doesn't know any Ryan. So why did Avery reply something that sounded like Ryan? Commented.
And right there, they said it sounds like he says Ryan. That kid just said 3 little words of gibberish that ran together. There was 0 R-Y-A-N's in there whatsoever. Go back to that.
Why did Avery reply something that sounded like Ryan?
I hear 0 anything that even rhymes with the word Ryan. I have no idea the person that sent this video in what they're talking about.
Commenters have said they believe it could be anything from Avery himself, the uploader's wife, a ghost, or even a demon. Though,
oh wow,
as
that narrows
as
it down.
Is,
Thanks. They said
Avery
it's either the
doesn't
kid,
seem
the
like
mother,
he
a ghost, or a
can form
demon.
coherent words yet.
They
it
just
really does
did the
look
entire
like he is
gambit.
playing with someone's before his
it's 1
mother
through 99.
calls him. Could this be an imaginary friend, or something far more sinister? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Number 1.
He's walking around
Evil
with a toothbrush,
has
for
no
Christ's sake.
face. Before we show you the following bone-chilling clips, let's start with the backstory so we can understand why YouTuber William Sloan experienced so much paranormal activity in his house. According to him, things got really weird after he had an Ouija board session with his friend, despite his wife's attempts to discourage them. For Sloan, it was just another attempt to unearth the truth about his centuries-old house. The session was successful as they communicated with an entity called James. His wife was so disturbed that they had to cut the session short though. During the following weeks, things went from bad to worse, making Sloan assured that he needed to investigate more and do something really quickly. Time was running out and the paranormal activities were getting intense. He investigated for 2 whole months whenever his wife went out to meet her parents. And finally, after 40 minutes of sitting around trying to capture something paranormal, he was able to get a hold of his first solid piece of evidence on a dark, eerie night.
That T went down the wrong pipe.
Let's watch.
Please. One more. Just one more.
Yeah, just do it right there. That's all. Just push it. That's all. Yeah. That's creepy.
You might be thinking that a string would do that job pretty well.
But it wouldn't
And
just stop.
so did we when we first came across this clip. But the more clips we watched from his house, the more convincing things became.
Well, plus it's a rocking chair. It stays. That's perpetual motion. So if he's pulling that string and it's rocking back and forth, as soon as he stops pulling the string, it's going to just obviously just continue to, the inertia is going to make it go for at least a couple more seconds. It's not going to instantly, just as soon as he stops pulling the string, just dead in his tracks like that chair just did. Oh! Bro, don't be messing around with my vinyl. What's wrong with you? In case you guys didn't see that, I was back here. Ooh, ooh. Bro, if I see some eyeballs or some shit back in that doorway. Huh? Oh, hello. Is it strong enough to push that plate off too? Huh?
Okay. I've been going over the footage from last night, and it's pretty crazy. And I don't know what's going on, but I tell you, I've been blaming my cats since I got them for pulling my records off the shelf. And I don't know.
Not everybody
Sometimes
likes
it might
Asia,
be
bro.
them, but it definitely wasn't last night. I've been going over this footage, and I noticed something that was driving me crazy. I couldn't figure out what it was, but the box, when it slid across the table there towards the end, right before it gets to the plate that the stuff was on, you hear like a ting sound. And that was driving me nuts because I couldn't figure out where that sound was coming from.
Unless he has something else he's about to say, which I'm sure he does, that didn't ting until whatever that was hit the plate, which is the sound something makes when you... Hang on. Don't really have anything else in here that's like metal or glass, but you can, like when you hear a little... Shit. Hang on. Yeah, I don't have anything that's going to be glass. I have to go get a plate, but that's what it sounds like when you hit a plate with something. That ting noise.
And then I realized that the lighter is askew. And I tried to recreate this, and I think that accounts for the noise. Listen. You hear that? So yeah, I think that...
Okay, but it's also
but it
could just be the fact that something hit the plate.
Figure out what it was.
Feeling confident that an entity called James was still occupying his house and moving objects at will,
Like
Sloan
picking
kept
nose, be
capturing
like,
different
there's a
activities
booger on
on
my
camera.
finger. Where'd that come from?
Here's another weird experience that drove him nuts.
I'm not convinced.
I think I've seen it. I've only seen this part of his video before. Whoa!
Oh shit!
Maybe not. That was a different one. That was kind of violent.
Holy shit. Do it again.
Do it again.
Holy shit. Do it again.
Tell me what to do. Ghost. Oh, shit.
Shit.
Then the ghost is like, no. I'm going to haunt you on my own time, dude.
One thing is for sure, this guy isn't short of creativity as he keeps trying different tricks to figure out what's causing the strange activities in his house. Let's watch what he had up his sleeve next.
Is he like the MacGyver of the paranormal? Oh, the thing's depressing itself.
You see that? Is that happening?
The plunger on the bell.
Oh, God. You fucking see this? You see that plunger? Oh my God, James.
I'm looking at the reflection in the bell to see if I
That
can
was
see
good.
anything like he's doing
I couldn't
something.
hear you, but I seen it. Dude, hit it real hard. I know you're trying. Just
That's what she said.
whatever you got, just give it all you got and just hit it one good time.
Oh!
Holy shit. Oh my God.
Huh?
Okay.
That's what's up.
Oh my God. I'll leave you alone.
That's what I'm saying. Is this him right here?
Thank you, James.
Whatever that thing is moving around?
God.
Okay, yeah, it was.
Just for the sake of being called a crazy man. It is just a bell. And if you look here on the inside of it, just a plunger and a hammer. No motors, nothing. Jeez.
Jeez. I like how calm he is about it, though.
Oh my God. Crazy, man.
Is it moving right now? It's like just gravity, but yeah, even something like that, you think that that ain't nothing
Instead
until
of
you see it happen in
relying
your own
on new
house.
technology, he opted
Like,
for the old-fashioned way,
Let's
like a
let's go ahead and
boss.
move, shall we?
Fair enough though, as it's easier to fake ghost videos using new technology than traditional objects like this call bell. The bell clearly moved on its own, and the button on the top was literally pressed. But how did this happen when no one touched it? Thrilled by the session, this dude decided to give it another go, this time using another unusual object.
Can you do it one more
Okay.
time?
Do what? Am I missing something? Can't the flame's just moving.
James.
What are we looking at?
One more time.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll say if the candle's just like flame was just moving,
Thank
I'm
you.
like that's what flames do. They don't stand perfectly still.
The activity he captured is pretty
That
weird
right there is
indeed.
creepy, dude.
But don't
That's-
go anywhere because
I won't say
today
violent,
we bring
but-
you a bonus video.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Bonus video. Fright Night. This video was captured in a pediatrics
They all float down
ward
here, you feel
and
me?
uploaded by YouTuber Freddy. Rumor has it that this portion of the hospital is haunted, but the staff doesn't talk about it, and hospital authorities deny such claims to avoid bad publicity. However, after this video went viral, it became impossible to quash those rumors. The balloon is advancing pretty slowly, quite unlike how it is supposed to move just from a draft. It feels as if something or someone is pushing it. Any idea how is the balloon moving at such a steady pace? Could it be the ghost of a child holding it while walking down the ward? Or are we just making a big fuss over a bit of air in the corridor?
Alright folks, that's it for this nighttime reaction. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We will get some more of these pumped out. I've got a couple things to do for a few days, so might not be an upload for a day or two. Apologize about that. Appreciate your patience. As always, share, like, and subscribe. I will see you on the next one. Take care.